Hello friends! A little catch-up video slash writing vlog is long overdue. It's been, I don't even know how long since I last filmed. I think I started a video like a while ago and then just didn't finish it. I just have been wanting to do a vlog for a while, but also just haven't been in a mood for a vlog. But here I am. I'm sitting in the Target parking lot right now, about to go inside, trying to kill the next like hour and 15 so that I can go to Marshall's afterwards. I just have a few things to grab, and I figured it would be best to go in the morning after dropping off my boys at daycare, but I forgot that Marshall's doesn't open till like 9:30. But I do have some grocery items to get, whether I get them here or at Walmart, I don't know, but I figured I'd just come here, walk around for a little bit. I have a gift card. I don't know if I'm gonna get anything today, but I just wanted to start off this vlog while I'm sitting here waiting. And I didn't really plan to vlog today. I just was sitting here, started thinking about my channel, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I should probably film something. At some point in a little bit, we will get into writing and how my book is going. If you're new here, I'm writing a contemporary fiction with a subplot of romance and some magical realism. And a few months ago, I finished my first draft, started my second draft, so I will catch you up on where I'm at with all of that, because I definitely have some updates. Right now, I think I'm gonna go inside and just walk around for a little bit. If I can find what I need here, then I don't know if I'll go to Marshall's, because I really just need like one or two things at Marshall's that I might be able to just find here. Inside, it was actually kind of busy for it being like 8:30 in the morning on a Wednesday, and I just get super anxious about people watching me or seeing me film in public. Well, I had a gift card, like I said. I ended up spending most of it on my kids but I did end up finding this little like pencil pouch that can like wrap around your journal, which is nice because I have like my journal and then I have a big pouch full of like highlighters and pens and stuff, and I only have a few that I use on a regular basis, so I wanted something like this so I can keep them with my notebook and not have to have the separate like bag of highlighters with me all the time. I did get a few Alani's. My favorite flavor right now is probably the pink cotton candy, but I got a little bit of a variety. And then I also got myself some True Fruit, which now I'm kind of regretting because I have a few other stores to go to, and that is a frozen treat, and it's gonna sit in my car now. Which, yeah, that was not a good idea. But for my kids, my 2.5-year-old has been into Spider-Man lately, but he also loves monster trucks, and I found this for like $10, so I think he's gonna love that. My 4-year-old has been obsessed with Legos, and he loves police cars and says he wants to be a policeman when he grows up, so I thought that that would be a cute one for him to have next. He's slowly building his Lego collection, which is so cute to see, but also is like, oh gosh, we have so many little Legos now. And I gotta watch it around my 1-year-old because he still will put everything in his mouth. And then for the 1-year-old, I got this here. We've had this before, but I don't know where ours went, and even if I find it, I don't think we have all the pieces anymore. But my first 2 boys loved this, so I wanted my 3rd baby to have this as well, and I got him a little Miss Rachel toy. He loves Miss Rachel. He loves cars, so yeah. So yeah, I spent basically pretty much my whole gift card on my kids. Anyway, it's only 9 o'clock now, so I technically have a half hour. I think I'm going to drive over to Marshall's and maybe read my book for a little bit in the car while I wait for them to open. But I'm reading The Bright Years right now. I'm really liking it so far. I'm not too far into it, but I really like the writing style and the story is intriguing. I feel like I'm really getting into the meat of it now, so I'm excited to continue reading. I think I'm gonna go do that, like I said. I have like 3 books that I've technically started, so that one I feel like I'm actually gonna complete. I started reading Yesteryear. I forget the author's name, but it's good, but I'm just not like in it right now. Maybe I'm just not in the right mindset right now to read it, I don't know. And a while ago I started One Italian Summer by Rebecca, what was her name? By Rebecca Searle. It's the same author who did In 5 Years, which was also popular a while ago. So yeah, and One Italian Summer, it's also one where I'm like a few chapters in and I like it, but I'm not like finding myself reaching for it like I am right now with The Bright Years. But we'll see if I continue that one or not. My sister just started listening to the audiobook of ACOTAR, and I'm so excited because now I can finally talk to her about it. She's not a big reader, but she told me one day that she had picked up the audiobook for it and started listening and liked it so far, and so I'm super excited for her to really get into all of that. And I loved Throne of Glass. Crescent City, I like it. I like the characters, but I wasn't like as attached and like in love with those books as I was with the other two series. Anyway, that's my little book update. I'm gonna go drive over to Marshall's. I changed my mind. Let's chat for a second before I go do that, because I'm not against having that much time to sit and read my book, but I do feel like we are overdue for a chat about just writing and stuff. Like I said, I am working on my second draft now, and I can't remember exactly when I started my second draft. I'm sure I could figure it out somehow, but it's been a few weeks. Okay, I can't figure it out exactly, but I want to say it was like mid-June. The last time I really took a video like for YouTube talking about my book, it was June 17th, and I think I had started a few days before that, something like that. So it's going well so far. So we're almost coming up on a month of working on my second draft. At first I wasn't super consistent about it, but the last like week or two I have been working on it like every day basically. I think the hardest part about getting started with my second draft was that I knew I had to rewrite the whole opening scene in the beginning of the book, and that was intimidating to me. Even though I kind of had an idea of where I wanted to start it now, I was struggling to just sit down and start it because it felt like starting with a blank page. So one day I just sat down sometime mid-June and decided to just start journaling as my character and reflect like as if she already, like as if that first scene that I was going to write already happened and she was reflecting on it. I started just writing her thoughts and feelings, and I wasn't worried about like how pretty it sounded or anything like that. It was just, so the other day I did this thing and this is kind of how it went and this is how I was feeling, and I just wrote a journal entry from her perspective, and it really helped a ton for me to really get into the scene and get into her head in that moment. And on like the second page of me journaling as her, I figured out where I wanted to start the scene, and just all of the other things that I wrote from her perspective gave me some insight into some things that I could add into that scene. So I don't know if that makes sense, but it was really helpful for me. And then when I found my starting point and I started writing that scene, it just flowed so well from there, and I was able to write that whole new opening scene. And then even leading into the next scene, I kind of had already written it in the first draft, but I knew I was going to change a lot. It was like a scene between my main character and her best friend, and they're riding in the car together. And in the first draft, they were a lot more friendly and things were good, and they were just chatting about their lives, and it was just like an info dump almost type of scene. And I already knew like halfway through my first draft that I was going to change some things to where before the book starts, like off page basically, there is a fight that happens between my main character and her best friend, Cassie and Sam. There's some fight that happens between them that causes some weird tension at the beginning of the book. So I knew I was gonna have to change that car scene a lot. And when I got to that scene, I basically, again, started from scratch. I had little things I could pull from my first draft, but for the most part, I completely rewrote that scene too. And again, it turned into something so much better than what I had before, and I was loving it. So it made just jumping into this second draft once I got those two scenes started so exciting. There's been plenty since then that I've been able to pull from my first draft and then go in and just add some different things that I wanted to add, some more character background and family history type stuff, and it's like turning out so good, and I'm so excited. And now I'm at another spot. I'm on like chapter 15 I think now, and I'm on another spot where it's like there's a lot that needs to change in this section, and I think it's going well so far. I'm kind of getting into the groove of this scene, but it's definitely going to need another pass or two. I think in my head it gets confusing sometimes when I'm like, okay, I wrote my first draft, now my second draft is about improving that draft, but if I rewrite a scene completely, it's the first draft of that scene inside of the second draft of my book. And that just like sometimes confuses me, because I know that these first draft scenes or these second draft scenes that I'm rewriting are gonna need another pass or two. So yeah, I don't know how to explain that. I don't know if that makes sense to any other writers, but it just like feels weird sometimes having a first draft version of a scene, where the other scenes that I'm taking from my first draft into my second draft, I'm more like polishing up and making better. So it just feels like choppy right now, if that makes sense. But I know it'll get better, and those scenes that I did rewrite are better from my first draft because I've become a better writer. So there is that to consider as well. But yeah, it's been interesting. Like I said, chapter 15, I'm probably halfway through the book, I think. And my original plan too was that I was going to re-outline for the second draft and then go through Save the Cat Writes a Novel and figure out if I'm hitting all the beats. There's a part of me that doesn't feel like I need to sit and make sure I'm hitting every single beat at the exact time it needs to be hit, because I can get too obsessive over that. And I do feel like my story so far, it does have the structure of a story, of a book, and I don't think that there's too much that really needs to be changed, even if it's not hitting every single beat. And I know that not everybody even uses Save the Cat. There's a lot of different methods and story structure types out there. I do want to go through at some point and just so I could see what's going on with my story and how it lines up, and just see like, is there anything that really does need to get added or not. So I don't know, I haven't really figured that out yet. Probably should have figured it out before starting my second draft, but because I'm not changing a ton as far as like the structure of the story, I feel like I'm okay. I do overthink it sometimes, but I think I'm good. And all of the scenes really do flow together, but also set up the next scene and the next thing that happens. So, or at least that's like what I'm working on now, is just adding little things. Like the scenes themselves, as far as the plot, flow nicely. And then I'm just making sure now that Cassie's internal thoughts and interiority is also flowing well. Now it is 9:15. I'm gonna go sit and read my book, and then we'll go to the next door and we can chat more about my book later. Just got home and I'm gonna put all the groceries and things away, but I wanted to show you really quick. At Marshall's, I also spent a lot of money on my kids. Not a lot of money, but spent money on my kids when I wasn't planning to. I did have a gift card that had like $15 left on it. Again, basically spent it on them. I got them each an outfit. So they each have a toy, and now they each have an outfit. I got this one for my oldest. That one is for my 2-year-old. And this one is for the baby. And then I did go to Walmart, got some groceries and stuff. Nothing crazy there. Yeah, I'm gonna put those groceries away now. And then I think I'm gonna do a little workout before I have some lunch, because it's like 11:40 now. I'm just trying to decide if after that I want to go to the library to work on my book and do some writing. I'll probably sit down and chat with you first if I do that. Yeah, so just trying to decide if I want to write here or at the library, because I also need to stop at town hall later to register my car, but they don't open till like 3:30. So I was thinking I might go to the library and then on the way back do town hall, and then basically go straight from there to pick up my boys, depending on how long town hall takes. I have you propped on my water bottle, so I'm hoping this stays. My tripod on the table was just a tad too tall for this shot, but I also can't shake the table too much or it will fall. But I did a workout today. So I have an app called Grow with Jo where there's a bunch of workouts in there by a woman named Jo. So today was a 10-minute like ab workout, like a standing ab workout, and then after that was a 15-minute mind body stretch where she just like gave affirmations while stretching and stuff like that, which was much needed today because I was very sore from a full body like cardio strength, I forget exactly what it was, yesterday. My legs were sore from that, so the fact that today was mostly just the stretch day was really good. And even like the affirmations she was giving and stuff, it was really nice to take a second and just calm myself and really just get out of my head for a minute. Now I made some lunch. I'm just having some rice with ground turkey and Brussels sprouts. But I wanted to sit and chat really quick because I think I'm gonna go to the library. I'm gonna try and push myself to get out of the house because there's a big part of me that just wants to stay here and write on the couch, which I normally do, and which is not bad as long as I'm still being productive, but I can feel myself already noticing all the things I need to do around the house or thinking about YouTube videos I want to catch up on. And I feel like if I stay here, I'm just going to be so distracted with those things. It's 12:40 now. I know it's almost been like an hour since I last talked to you, and the workout was 25 minutes. It took me a minute to make my lunch. Then I got distracted by a little bit of TikTok. Yeah, I definitely got distracted there for a minute. Okay, let's, without shaking the camera, let's open up and just chat for a second. I know I already told you, like, I've been working on my second draft and it's going well. Like I said, the scene that I'm writing now is a first draft of this scene because I'm completely rewriting a little section here. And in my book, this is one of my struggles right now, is that in my book, it goes between the real world and Cassie's dream world, which is like an alternate reality almost. And it goes back and forth. And I think I'm struggling with the fact that I think the real world is a little like shorter. Like the real world scenes and chapters are shorter than the dream world, which I kind of want it that way because I kind of want, like, towards the middle of the book for Cassie to be really using these dreams as an escape from her life and to be preferring this world and like really living in this world and feeling like she has this whole life here. So I kind of want it to feel that way, but I want to make sure that they're not too long so that it's almost jarring when you go back to the real world. But then again, that's kind of how she feels. She feels kind of like she wakes up and has to remember where she is and what her life is in the real world because she just spent so much time in the dream world. So I don't know. I think once I do a second read through of the second draft, I'll have a better idea. I also have shared this document with my sister-in-law, and I told her that if she gets a chance, she can go in and read some and just give me some thoughts. She's not going to be giving me like constructive criticism or anything like that. She doesn't know much about writing books, but she loves reading books. So I just want her to read and just have an opinion from someone other than myself, because nobody else has really seen or heard too much about this story or details about the story. So I'm just curious what she thinks, because this section here that I'm rewriting, it was long to begin with and it's turning out to be a bit longer than the original, I think. So there may be things I can kind of cut later, but yeah, I'm just trying to figure that out, I guess. And yesterday I was trying to write and I was not in a good headspace in general, and what was coming out was like okay, so I might go through and reread what I wrote yesterday and change some things up maybe. It's hard because that first scene of the book that I rewrote originally when I started this draft, I feel like it came out so well and my character was like so vivid, and now that I'm like really into it, I feel like I don't have that anymore. So I don't know if I need to like go back to trying to journalize her or just read through my first scene and then come back to this scene and try and like bring more of her character out here. I don't know. It's just feeling flat right now. One other thing I have done since starting this second draft is I have nailed down my fictional town where this is based and where I think some of my other books and stories can be based, or at least have scenes in this town or something like that. I haven't really decided for future books yet, but for this book I've nailed down the town, and it's a fictional town but based on a real town in Michigan. It's nice having that because whenever I'm trying to describe like a setting or whatever, I can open up an actual Google map of the town it's based on and figure out where things might be. And obviously, since mine is a fictional town, I can make things up also. But yeah, just having an idea and like a visual almost on Google Maps is nice. So I kind of have like around where Cassie would live, around where her friend Sam would live. I kind of have a location for the local bar and grill where she goes and sings sometimes. Stuff like that. It's been fun because, like, again, in those first few scenes, when she picks up her friend Sam and they're riding in the car together, I have a much more vivid opening for where she's picking him up and why he's there and stuff like that. Whereas before it was just like, I don't know, they're both coming home from college. But I've changed things about Sam and he's not going to college right now. So I was like, okay, if he's not going to college, why is she picking him up? Where is she picking him up from? Why does she have to drive him home? Stuff like that. And in doing that, it just brought out so much more about his character and their friendship and this argument that they had. And yeah, it's been kind of fun just figuring that stuff out too. So anyway, I'm gonna stop rambling. I'm gonna eat my lunch and then I'm gonna go to the library before I have to go to town hall. Right, I'm here at the library, and I gotta be honest, I'm like not feeling like going in. So we're gonna see how this goes. I'm gonna go in anyway and sit down, put on my headphones, see if I can get any words down. And then I do need to get gas too, so I'll have to pay attention to the time, but I have 2 hours. I don't know if I'm gonna be here that long, or if I just really get into writing, maybe I will be, but I definitely need to save time to get gas. So let's go inside. I did not stay inside because it was like way busier than I thought it was gonna be. I feel like I've seen this many cars here before, but it wasn't like that. Like I went inside and almost all of the spots to like sit were taken, especially all the places I normally like to go and sit. But I walked around a little bit and there was people in like almost every spot. I don't know what's going on today and why there's so many people here on a Wednesday afternoon, which is fine, but like I wasn't expecting that. So I gotta come up with a plan B. Dang it. I actually got myself out of the house and to the library and couldn't stay. I am struggling today. I feel like this entire vlog has been in the car. I got gas and then I drove over to the other library closer to my house and actually closer to the town hall. It's just a much smaller library that I don't love going to. And I pull in the parking lot, which also is very small, and almost all the spots were taken. There was like a couple parking spots open, which tells me that there's a decent amount of people inside. So I turned around and then I started heading home because I was like, whatever, I'm just gonna go home, write a little bit, then come back to town hall. Then I was like, but I don't feel like driving back this direction, even though yes, it's only 5 minutes, but like driving back to town hall. But there's like nowhere to go, really. There's no coffee shop. I live in a very small town. So I drove to the park. Don't know, I don't know. I think at this point, I'm just gonna sit in the car and see if I can do a little writing in a car. I have my laptop. I can use my phone hotspot as long as I have a decent enough signal. I don't know. Today's just not my day for trying to get out of the house to write. I probably should have just stayed home, but at this point, I'm like, I'm out of the house, and if I go home, I just feel like I'm not gonna want to write when I get there. Let me see if I even have a signal here. I write on Google Docs, so I've never really written without internet, so I don't know if if I write, because I have the page open, but like if I write, it won't save. I'm just like so frustrated today because I've been telling myself that I should get out of the house to like write or go to the library or something. When I stay home a lot, which I've been doing lately, I can feel myself just like getting into like a funk, and I've been feeling that lately, and I finally got myself out of the house today and everybody is out today. My phone has like 1 bar, so I really don't think that I'm gonna be able to use it as a hotspot. I can technically write. All right, I'm just gonna try to write for a little bit. I have about an hour, a little over an hour before town hall opens. I'm gonna try to write a little bit. If it's not working, I might just read my book, but we're gonna try to make this work. I am gonna try to write. I'm gonna read through this scene. There are picnic tables and stuff, but the sun is like really, it's out and it's hot. So I'm gonna stay in the car. Let's see what we can get done. I meant to get a few clips of me writing, but I think I only got one, and I did kind of get into the zone, which was good. It was a good session. I didn't check to see how many words I wrote, but I did go through the chapter to read through and like edit a little bit. But then I realized, like as I was reading, like it wasn't as bad as I thought. I don't know why I felt like what I had written was like so flat and just like not quite what I wanted. I still feel like there's something wrong with it, and I don't know what it is yet, but it was better than I remembered from writing from yesterday. And then I added to it, and I'm now getting to a point where I think I can pull a decent amount, another like chunk from the first draft, and keep going from there. So I think it's good. It's coming out good. Not exactly how I want, I think. I definitely think the scene will need another few passes, like I said, but yeah. And now it is 3:15. I'm gonna drive over. The town clerk is like a few minutes away from here, but I'm gonna drive over and get this car registered, and then I will maybe get a chance to catch up with you like one more time before I have to pick up my boys. So I went to town hall and realized I forgot my checkbook, and I'm pretty sure they don't take card, so came home, and when I got here, my husband was home, and he was like, just do it tomorrow. So I really didn't feel like driving back to the town clerk again, so I agreed. I'm just gonna do it tomorrow. Today has not exactly been my day, apparently, but I gotta go pick up the boys now, so I'm just gonna end the vlog here. I'm sure it is plenty long, and I yapped for a long time, so I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!